Today we're talking about T-bones, a portion cut from the NAMP 1174 short loin, which is fully cleaned before being cut on a saw. The short loin has three parts: the porterhouse, the T-bone, and the shell steaks on the end. The porterhouse side is often confused with the T-bone, but the porterhouse has a larger fillet with a minimum size of 1 1/4 inches. The porterhouse advantage of the larger fillet is tempered by the disadvantage of having the vein run through the strip section. While the T-bone has a smaller fillet, it doesn't have the vein, so the strip is the real feature of the steak. The T-bone has to have a minimum of a 1/2 inch tenderloin. Once we get down to a 1/2 inch on the tenderloin or below, they become shell steaks. The shell steak is too small to be a T-bone, so it will be boned out and sold as a bone-in strip steak. Today we're featuring a choice T-bone that would typically be used for a mid-scale restaurant all the way up to a white tablecloth, because the marbling is what denotes the grade. The choice has more marbling, so it has a better bite and tenderness, making it a preferable choice for someone in that scale of restaurant. Select T-bones are an option for restaurants looking to add a T-bone with low plate cost because the marbling is less notable. With the T-bone, you will always get a center cut strip as opposed to the porterhouse where you might get a veined steak on the end. A lot of restaurants like T-bones because they're easier to cook. The porterhouse has two different muscles and they react differently to cooking temperatures. The T-bone cooks a lot easier. You don't have to worry about overdoing it as you do with the porterhouse. The fillet on the porterhouse might be overcooked, but the strip won't, so a lot of restaurants prefer to go with the T-bone because there's less room for mistakes. Our T-bones come from a 0 to 1 short loin, which is already trimmed, so you won't have the extra fat on the tail end of your T-bone. You'll have about a 1/2 to a 0 tail. Another advantage for the T-bone is the size. While the porterhouse will give good plate coverage, it is very thin. If you're going to buy a porterhouse, you really have to buy a 20-ounce steak to give it a high plate cost. A 16-ounce T-bone is a very nice steak with very nice thickness. Basically, a 16-ounce T-bone will be much thicker than a 16-ounce porterhouse.